My name is Rick Hudson. I'm an engineering supervisor in distribution improvements at Salt River Project. So Salt River Project began in the early 1900s when Theodore Roosevelt and his administration was in place. And the primary objective was to provide water storage for the farmers that were in the Phoenix metropolitan area at the time. Today, most of the southern part of Phoenix is served electrically by Salt River Project. So SRP in the past year just passed 1 million customers total, and I believe about 900,000 of those 1 million customers are residential customers. We have just over 22 million feet of direct buried URD. Type of cable that we've used predominantly from the very beginning of our URD programs was number 2 stranded XLPE. So in the mid-90s, we had a 3-strike cable failure and we replaced criteria. Because we had established the same criteria for URD and feeder, the reliability impacts from a single feeder failure was far greater than a single URD failure. We realized we needed to change that criteria. And so we focused more on the feeder and the sub-feeder systems because of its impact to our reliability. The result was that our URD failures started to increase. And we knew we needed to do something to sort of stem the tide of that increase. That's when we said we would like to consider cable rejuvenation in some areas and see if it was successful. We went into some areas that we had some really problematic cable, and the outcome the following summer was really quite good. And so as a result, we started to look at cable rejuvenation more on a system-wide basis. Currently, we do both cable replacement and cable rejuvenation as part of our plan to manage our cable assets. Those are the 2 linchpins to what we're trying to accomplish in improving our reliability. In terms of the replacement, we prioritize our feeder and our sub-feeder replacement over the URD. That's going to give the greatest reliability impact. We also know because of our failures being much higher in our URD, we need to do something else, and that's where cable rejuvenation came in to help us improve the failure rates in the URD systems. And the idea is, let's just give us an additional 20 years of life, give us a Band-Aid so we can replace our more significantly detrimental to our reliability cable now and allow us to replace that URD later in our cable replacement project. Currently, we are using a hybrid approach with both IUPR and SPR with the Cable Cure 732 fluid. We have a 5-year break-even point on cable rejuvenation being a benefit cost-wise to SRP versus cable replacement. So once we've actually exceeded 5 years, we're actually making money for SRP on our cable rejuvenation. And we've definitely seen cable segments far exceed that 5-year threshold. Since we've now adopted the new Novinium practices, we are seeing failure rates less than 1%. We've used an approach of both cable replacement and cable rejuvenation. We know we need to replace a fairly significant quantity of cable. We've got to target what we're doing cable replacement on with the money that we have. It's limited. And cable rejuvenation just helps us to meet another group of cable which we don't have the money to replace, but it helps to change the future failure projections on that cable. We know that we're significantly improving the bottom line for SRP through this practice of cable rejuvenation.